To może zacznijmy od tej posępnej, co za nami stoi.
No właśnie.
Didn't expect to be nervous. But seeing everyone here like this, it's strange, isn't it? I feel like I must have dreamed the last few months. Now I'm waking up back in camp with my hair smelling like wood smoke and fallen leaves stuck to my backside.
Jezus Maria. O Boże, nie.
Little wine
Za mocno.
might help accelerate the process. So, we should divvy up what we tell people about what we've been doing these past few months. I'd hate to be a bore that comes along and regurgitates the same story to someone moments after you've told them. Any ideas? Well, there's the visit to the House of the Moon, fending off Sharan assassins. That stray imp that joined us. Bing bong, wasn't it? We've squeezed in a lot,
Przeżyłyśmy? O kurde.
and I'm glad I got
A są czasami takie błędy.
Ale widzisz, Arkas, już wiesz,
I'm
co
sure
robiliście
we'll have
przez te
them
pół roku.
hanging off our
Tak.
every word. I'll leave you to do some mingling, unless you need anything else.
Buzi!
That can be arranged.
Ale ładne te szaty.
Mm.
Almost a shame we're with company. I'd be tempted to let you whisk me away someplace quiet.
3 minuty. Tylko się z wszystkimi przywitam.
3 godziny, chciałeś powiedzieć.
Why? Are you expecting to be gone for long? All right.
Z tymi siwymi włosami wyglądamy jak tak dziadkowie.
No, no.
Stare, dobre małżeństwo.
No nie!
I could get lost in those arms. With music in the air and wine flowing, I think I'll manage. Don't get into trouble, but if you must, fetch me first.
To co? Czekaj, to zdrabcie. On gdzieś tu...
Tu jest.
Gdzie? O, tu jest zdrabciu.
It's up for discussion. A familiar sight. Scratch
Oh.
can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
I found this. It smelled like you, so I kept it. Seemed like something you might like to throw.
Rzucić?
So am I. I've got a nice home in the city now. A girl named Mindy says I'm her best friend. She's mine too. Also you. I've got so many best friends, I hardly know who to snuggle. I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you.
No.
You know best. But a little fetch never hurt anyone.
Mówisz, że jednak mam ci tym rzucić. Gdzie on jest? Czekaj, czekaj, czekaj. Gdzie ja go mam? Rzuć. Drapek.
No i
Olał mnie pies, czekaj. Jeszcze raz. Nie.
no i tak.
Well, this is awkward.
No one stopped me yet.
Dobra, to...
Z kim teraz?
Kogo... O, tam jest Lae'zel daleko.
Karla robi tutaj pompki na jednej ręce. Szacun. To z kim gadamy?
Z każdym po kolei?
Po kolei to
Dobra.
Karla może być.
Oh shit.
Oh my gods! He wasn't kidding! With us, you mad bastard! You brought
missed you, man. Like, I've really missed you. And you're so...
Dzięki.
War's a dirty business, soldier. It's been exactly how you'd think. But having Will around has been incredible. Fucker's even better at killing devils than yours truly. We don't have much time to chat, but just knowing he's there makes all the difference. Oh, but hey, guess what we found? Cambion dropped a map with directions and blueprints for Zariel's own private forge. A fucking forge! Our current plan is to get in, grab a smith, and force him to fix old Rusty. Or maybe give me a brand new model that can live outside of Ernest. You haven't seen the last of old Karlak yet, soldier. Trying not to count my owlbears before they've hatched. But the thought of coming back to Baldur's Gate keeps me going. Can I look you up when I'm out?
Cały czas słyszę tutaj gdzieś chomika.
Hey,
No nie?
that would be kind of fun, though. High stakes hide and seek. Honestly, I'd be curious to see if you could land a blow or two. Gods, is it good to see you again. To be here together. Hard not to get used to it all over again. This won't be the last time. I promise.
Git.
Hmm.
Hej, co jest?
Well, now. You get.
O, krótko.
Oh, forgive me. I am simply excitable. It is good to be out under an open sky once more. My first since the reconstruction began. We left quite a mess behind. But the city begins to look something like itself once more. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns overflowing. Huh. Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three, but nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again. There is still much to do. People to house. A Harper network to rebuild. I may have little love for this city, but so long as my family chooses to serve it, I can do no less. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you. Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
Eat good.
There you are. Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance. I did offer, as a matter of fact. However, the Blackstaff insisted I couldn't teach every subject, nor could the simulacra of myself I offered to create for that purpose. So I've settled for teaching the art of illusion. Magic to confound the senses, to render the impossible into reality, and to allow expression of that most magical attribute of all. imagination. I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former reputation. I seem to put the fear of the gods into them. Or the fear of Mistra, to be more specific. I surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as I told you I would. And in return, she cured me of the orb at last. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. It was like exhaling for the first time after holding my breath for so very long. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a classroom. Too good, if anything. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils. Still, I hoped my students might be a little more open to the playful side of such magic. Oh, they try their best, of course, when they can manage to stay awake.
Cheek of them. Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
Trójkę.
Oh, I assure you, my students keep me very well informed of your escapades, past and present. You're something of a hero to them. I'd be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you. Excellent. I knew you wouldn't be able to resist the allure of sharing your expertise. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower.
Tak to już jest z kotem.
It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now, with time enough to come.
I wish it could last forever.
No dobra.
Tam Lae'zel jest z tyłu.
Now the revelry can truly begin.
Astarion. Lae'zel.
A to co to?
Która?
A tu jest laser, dobra, faktycznie.
No.
To co, Kamal?
Kamal, ja sobie z Halsinem pogadam.
Dokładnie.
A no dobra.
To wy macie razem jajko, nie?
2 months I trained
Jajko.
the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through limbo. I never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strained word, every barbed glance, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than
No.
the Royal Inquisitor's
No,
head.
słodko.
Ale romantyczne.
It's nice to hear it. It's taken a dozen Gish's talents, a few stolen psi crystals, and 2 10 days of effort to conjure my projection. Worth it, I'd say. I miss this place. This Fey Run. Shractalor. I wouldn't expect you to. The capital city of the GRY, an exiled people, once kin with mine, until the madness of civil war ripped our one sky into 2. Our Gish sent word of the rebellion to their god king Zareth Minyaragith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance. My blade is keen as ever, but it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge. Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck. Minyaragith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. And if he refuses, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces. My people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm. Soon, when the comet has risen, when the Lich Queen has crumbled to dust, I miss this place. More to the point, I miss you. I wouldn't even deny it with Vlaakith's vorpal blade at my neck. Though, I'd rather it not come to that. Now go, mingle a bit. That's the word, right? Mingle. I'll be back one day. The Overgod himself couldn't keep me away.
Tara. Kicia.
Oh,
Kicia ma coś do powiedzenia.
Hello. Yes, I'm certain it is. As for you, well, I've heard congratulations are in order. You helped Mr. Dekarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that
Tak,
right?
pomagałem mu.
Well done. Despite my old friend's genius. He'd have blown himself up long ago if not for the help of friends like you and I. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able. If you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities. We'll send word by pigeon when we've need of you. I used to have a taste for them, but a great many things have changed in recent months. Ta-ta, darling.
Kitę.
No to.
Tata.
No doubt about it.
To co, Astarion teraz?
Engine's cooking.
Well, look who decided to turn. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are.
Zasuszony
And you're
przyjaciel.
looking more delicious than ever.
A widziałeś Marnieja?
If you don't mind me saying. Whatever you've been doing with your time, it clearly worked wonders.
O, co mi tak znika, halo? O.
Co ci znika?
No, znika mi ten.
O.
Love is a powerful
Odpowiedzi.
And where better to celebrate our good fortune? An old haunt with old friends. Exactly what I feared. Without the protection of our little friends, I was just an ordinary spawn again. Burning in the sun. I fled the dark and found refuge in the shadows until night fell. Part of me was relieved you left so quickly after the battle. I felt ashamed. Like I'd lost everything. Just as you claimed your victory. I didn't want you to see me like that. But time lent perspective. It wasn't your victory, it was ours. And for all I'd lost, I'd gained so much more. I had freedom, strength, a whole new life. And it was time to live it. I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero. It turns out no one actually cares about murder as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it. Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been. Hardly. Good people don't spend as much time lurking in the dark as I do. You know, it's funny. At first, I thought I was trapped by the shadows, cursed to live in them forever. But in time, I realized that darkness is as much a part of me as my fangs. This is only a curse as long as I refuse to embrace the shadows. So, I decided I would. I decided not to be defined by the choices other people made, by what other people did to me. My past may be done, but my present, my future, they're mine. This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse. And to you, we've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
No to see you later. Kogo my tu jeszcze mamy?
Willa.
There you are, my friend. Breathe deep. Can you smell it?
Ha, ha. O, udało się. Niesamowite.
You take in every scent the night breeze carries. Sweet honeysuckle, tender violets, and an earthy fragrance you can't quite recognize.
Forest trees draped in moss. Bittersweet, smoky, and that faintest hint of vanilla. A far cry from the rancid Avernus heat that's been clogging my lungs. I swear, Karlach and I have felled enough cambions to build a fortress with their horns. Who'd have thought that just one of those fiends held the key to escaping Avernus for good? One of them sported a map and some blueprints. If you want all the gory details, Karlach can fill you in. I've seen him more than a few times, and he's as proud of me as I am of him. He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And he's back in his element, commanding the flaming fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's chosen primed the fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart. I think the splinters I made out of the last bone devil I saw speak for themselves. Not to pat myself too hard on the back, but I'm not such a bad ranger if I do say so myself. I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side. Well, that's enough hell talk for the moment. The night's young. You shouldn't go wasting it. or wasting any of the wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oh, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Okej.
No to
Tu
gruby
jest na
zawodnik.
górze jeszcze jakiś grajek.
Mhm.
Li.
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice. You have no idea who I am, do you? I thought Withers might have set the stage a little. Milil. Though if the lack of song prayers is anything to go by, that name carries less weight than it used to. Apologies. I think I got a mote. Carried away there. You're hardly to blame. You just want to change up the music, I wager.
Oj.
Co? Znowu nie widzisz?
Nie wiem kim on jest. Chciałbym wiedzieć.
Jakimś...
You know. You're bloody right.
Oszukam go po prostu, że wiem.
Finally. The scribe picks an adventurer of substance, of culture. What can I do you for?
Już nie pamiętam, jakimś bogiem bardów czy czymś takim.
No tak wygląda w sumie.
Mhm.
Ja nie znam się na D&D, więc
Pan pieśni.
może mnie nie ukrzyżują
Pan
widzowie.
pieśni się tak nazywa. Taką. Dobra, idziemy do
Mińska.
pana mądrego.
Boo! We are not dreaming. It is our old friend. Oh, and it is good to be seen.
No.
Oh, after so many days down in the dark, Minsk began to wonder if he was some blind bug who had only dreamed himself to be large and bulksome. You will forgive the aroma, I hope. We were not expecting the Dusty One to open a portal to our very cell. Boo had a moment to lick himself clean, but there is a little too much of Minsk to cover. Minsk and Boo have been helping, of course. We guard the streets, while Jahira is occupied with harperish matters. The Zentarum rule the city's underbelly, so Minsk and Boo went to give them a tickle. There were harsh words, battle cries, some manner of head wound. We awoke in a Zentish cell, awaiting trial by noble combat. Execution, says Boo, though I am not sure of the difference. It is a long walk to the gallows, and Minsk still has his fists, no? In ample time indeed. So long as the Bone Mage returns us to our cell by dawn, Boo would not be late to the bloodshed. But leave such matters for the morn. Tonight is for celebration and the telling of tales. How have you filled your days since we tore this sticky tyrant from the sky? Aha, the lovebirds still nest together then? Minsk is glad. For what is life without a companion? Though I am thinking yours does not sit on your shoulders, eh? Ah, you are right, Boo. That is none of Minsk's business. There is much merriment to be made before the night is done. Go and greet the others. Minsk shall make himself presentable. Ah, this pond shall do nicely, Boo. Though I see no soap. So you shall have to blow the bubbles for me.
Ja pierdzielę.
Potężny jest zawodnik.
Gościu mocny jest.
Dobra, tu jest laser, to chyba tu mamy wszystkich? Nie,
Jeszcze
to jest
Halsin.
jeszcze. No
Dobra, to
Halsin
ja sobie z nim pogadam.
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now our paths cross once more. We have all pined for each other's company, I sense. I cannot imagine otherwise after what we shared. That bond was forged in a crucible that can never be stoked again, Oak Father willing. It is a bond that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day. I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place. That was more than worth the wait. How thoughtless of me. Come here. Ah, there it is. That is what I've been missing. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing.
Niestety w przeciwieństwie do Arkaza ja nie wiem, co robiłam przez ostatnie pół roku.
In that case, very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony, stronger together. In a manner of speaking, yes. Though it is a more complex, evolving beast than I could ever have anticipated. True balance is no simple, fixed thing. I see that now. We welcome folk from all walks of life. Anyone who wishes for a new start. Naturally, it can be chaotic at times, but it is a thrilling sort of chaos. It thrives in ways I could never have dreamed of. You are welcome whenever you like, and for however long you please. Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see, my charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake. I am all ears, though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image. You have kept yourself busy. No less in truth. I shall be able to keep the children enthralled for a few more nights yet, thanks to you.
Naprawdę nie wiem, co ona mogła robić przez pół roku, żeby mieć tyle materiału na opowieści.
Ale się rozgadała.
Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to.
To fajno,
I shall
fajno.
leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else. Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many playmates to avail of, they are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods as far as I'm concerned. I spend half my days in ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon my back just days ago. I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oak Father's creations. But they must learn that not all are as amiable as I am. A lesson for another time, though. They deserve some joy. As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. Perhaps because I have found where I am meant to be. As did I, but somehow I feel like I no longer need to roam. That I have found something worthy laying roots for. Amazing what can be discovered about oneself, even at a ripe old age. On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid now, and by all accounts, she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence.
No proszę.
Of course. I could get used to this.
Dobra, starczy wam.
Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company. Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak again later.
To wszystkich chyba mamy.
To Marniej nam został.
No tu mamy jakiś... No, tu jest Marniej.
No, bo tam Marniej siedzi, czeka.
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel? Thou givest thyself so little credit. The duty borne by you was great. You could have well shirked. Thou gavest what it was possible to give. The realm continues for your sacrifices. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much. What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen.
Tak.
The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. for now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready.
Z Wolą nie pogadaliśmy.
For thou
A, faktycznie.
Kurde.
Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible
No trudno,
fortune,
przepadło.
health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving.
Mnie się podobała opcja za mózgi bez robaków.
Tak, to mocne to było.
Ej, wykopaliście mnie z tej imprezki? Nie widzę się tu.
Kamala też nie ma.
No właśnie.
Mnie też nie ma.
O, teraz są napisy.
Teraz są napisy.
To źle pamiętałam kolejność w takim razie. A tam powinna być jeszcze scenka po tym.
No jest.
The dead three. Thy faces gone.
Widzę ciemność.
Thy actions barely
X-a wcisnęliście?
Tak.
Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou sought to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
Marniej króciutko z nimi.
No wiadomo.
No i to by było na tyle.
I to by było na tyle.
To by było na tyle.